Hey everybody.
What's going on?
TGIF.
TGIF.
Happy Friday. I don't know what's going on here. We are coming at you live today. We changed our time, so um we decided that Friday nights at 10 are a little bit better for the
Because,
both of us because of our schedules and stuff like that.
and also because, there's a good number of people who don't work on the weekend. And, we're trying to get as many views as possible. So, for the people that don't work on the weekend and don't have anything else to do, why not tune in and
Hmm.
enhance your love languages and enhance your relationships and have a good time with two beautiful people. I know I'm gorgeous and she's magnificent. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Welcome to the Venom and Vision, the podcast. I'm John the Venom.
Uh-huh. Erin the Vision, and tonight we're talking about marriage versus long-term relationships.
There's a difference.
And talk about how there's a difference. So I'm just open it up with a really quick prayer because prayer changes things.
Indeed.
Yeah, Father God, we thank you.
Yes, Lord.
We thank you for everything that we have. We thank you for everything that we don't have. Thank you for the roof over our head, the car that we drive, the clothes on our back, the food that you provide on our table. Thank you for the opportunity to open our eyes and see another day. And
Yes,
we
Lord.
thank you for continued blessings that you have given us. Thank you for keeping us together. Thank you for our marriage. Thank
Yes,
you
Lord.
for our children, our friends, family. And we ask that you just continue to bless us, Lord, and see us through. Thank you for keeping our feet planted and our hearts clear and minds clear. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Let's get to the book.
So tonight we are talking about marriage
Mm-hmm.
versus long-term relationships. So the difference is there's a lot of differences.
I think,
Um,
hold on, can I say something real quick before you
yeah.
delve into it? Now, for me personally, I came up with this subject because um, recently I was on uh, Threads and there was I was on TikTok and somebody said, well, we've been, and I had asked somebody something along the lines of, um, she had asked on TikTok some things that uh, will ruin a marriage. And my response to her was that, getting your friends in your business, your friends and family in your business, especially people that don't know anything about marriage, haven't been married and never will be married, nor do they want to be married. Um, don't put those people in your life as far as your marital business.
Mhm.
And somebody responded and was like, well, if you want to know about marriage, you need to talk to somebody who's been in a relationship for a long time. And I was like, no, there's a difference. She's like, well, you need to, would you explain the difference? So I had to explain to somebody who's never been married. Good.
Mhm. That's true. That is true. So, what, uh, let's see. So, we've been married for 9 years now. We just celebrated our ninth year anniversary.
Nah, yeah.
9 whole years, 10 years together. And it's been a long ride.
Hmm. Sometimes the road had potholes in it.
It's been a ride. But then again, I also know of people who are not married and stay even longer than that. So it's just like I feel like a lot of people feel like that piece of paper is going to change things. Um, Also, people like to hold on to some kind of independence while they're with a partner.
Hmm.
There's a lot of different things that we can touch on with this subject. So we ask you, our viewers, if you would like to chime in, you can do so at any time so that we can just have a discussion. Make your comments. You can also definitely, if you have a story to tell or if you want to write us, just write us a letter. Venom and Vision, the podcast at gmail.com. Send your letters in and we'll feature your letter if you want to, if you want us to on our show. Again, we're going to be going live on YouTube every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern from now on. And so, uh, yeah,
My head is shrunk.
huh?
My head is shrunk.
Your head has shrunk. I think it has a lot to do with the coloring in the background. Mhm.
But so where do we start with?
Ooh. So, marriage, it's a commitment. It's more of a commitment, but also relationships are a commitment too.
So I say it's same love, different commitment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and what I mean by same love, different commitment is that you can love each other immensely. Y'all can love each other to the point where y'all all have been together for a very long time. And now, you know, y'all decided to live together and be as one and things of that nature. But there's a significant difference in being together and being married. It's a different commitment level. Um, and what I mean by that is dating someone can be fun, but when you're in a marriage, it's less about fun and more about becoming one.
Mm.
You know,
Why is that? Why is that?
why is what?
Just that, like, why is that a difference? Because of the fact that you are with somebody or you're uniting, you have this union with the other person and it's under God, it's supposed to be God centered.
Hmm.
It's more of that than anything else, right?
Right.
And then there's just that bond, that piece of paper that ties y'all together as far as a marriage is concerned.
A man.
But
Go ahead.
when you're in a regular relationship, it should be the same kind of, right? But it's not. Not usually.
Some like to think it is because they haven't. I'll say this: one of the main differences between marriage and uh,
Long-term relationship.
long-term relationships is because marriage is for life. That's the main thing y'all have
Well, that's the
set.
intention, yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for life. You've given yourself to this other person, to your partner, to your tag teammate, to your other half, to your better half, to your rib, to your to the leadership of each other, because it's not just. I mean, don't get me wrong. The man is supposed to lead, but he leads from the needs of the team. He leads from the needs of his wife. and the needs of the family, and that's how you're supposed to lead.
Mhm.
So with those things, there's a significant difference in the mindset. Now you can still do those things as a committed couple, but the one difference is the major difference, I think, is there's an unclear future in just dating. We can be together for 6 years and the future is still unclear. Because I can get up and leave right now because I am sick of this shit. You know, you have to have a clear future. You have to have a clear destination of where you're trying to go. Let me ask you this. Is
Mhm.
marriage just a title or a mindset shift?
It's definitely a mindset shift
Explain.
because when you see that's another thing. A lot of people these days they just get married just for the sake of getting married. Like, oh yeah, I got this big ring and this man is good. He's gonna take care of me. He's got the, it's a money thing, whether it's that or they just get married for the surface of it. And so, yes, it is a mindset shift. But the most important thing to realize is a lot of times you have to go through that mindset shift. Almost getting tongue tied. But while you're in the marriage, like you're changing in the marriage as individuals. And that's the hard part. That's the hard part of marriage. Changing, growing up while in the marriage. Now, for those of you who do not know, we have been married for 9 years. However, we did separate for 16 months. And it was me who initiated the separation due to feeling like I was losing myself. And so during that separation, I had some time to think, to assess, to
Realizing nothing outside but outside.
nothing outside, but outside for one, but also just to realize how important my marriage is to me. Um, and the fact that I was growing, I was changing and felt like I just needed to change on my own. That's how I felt. But at the same time, it's like he was trying to encourage me to talk to him about whatever I was going through, but I wasn't, I wasn't feeling that because of my own individual self. My personality is just like, eh, you know, let me deal with this on my own. And that's how I felt. Um, so long story short, we got back together. And now I have a totally different mindset of how this thing is supposed to go.
So what do you think your mindset was before
I
or in the
just told
beginning?
you. I just told you. I just explained that. Like I could, if I go through something, I'm gonna go through it by myself because that's what I'm used to. That's what I was used to. Just let me handle it. Let me go into my shell and deal with whatever it is I gotta deal with.
I can do that.
So
I mean,
now I don't. And it was more of a communication thing, but now I don't have a problem communicating now. It is just working on my delivery. But I think I'm a lot more communicative
I'll agree to that.
now than I was in the first part of our marriage.
I'll agree to that.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate your growth.
And I
Well,
appreciate your consistency.
absolutely. Um,
'Cause that was the issue too.
certainly.
Um,
But for me, I think it's a mindset shift too. For for men, I think to be in a marriage, um, to be in a husband mode, to be in protector provider mode, you have to die to yourself. You have to really be in the mode of making sure that your main priority is protecting the people that are looking to you to be the leader. It's not you anymore. It's not looking out for yourself. I mean, of course, you look out for yourself. You're number one because if you can't do it for you, you can't do it for anybody else. But in doing that, you have to know what you're doing it for. And you're not just doing it for yourself anymore. Everything you do is takes it either takes away or adds to everybody involved in it, in your marriage, in the relationship, the children, your wife, uh, things of that nature. Whereas if you're single or unmarried in a relationship and you don't necessarily have children with the person you're with, it's a lot easier for you to back out hot if the situation becomes more than you think you want to deal with at the time. In a marriage, you don't have those luxuries, and that's a luxury. And there are a lot of people that say, well, uh, marriage is just a piece of paper. What that piece of paper entails is a different level of commitment. It causes you to have a different version of yourself. Every phase of life that is new, you have to have a different version of yourself. And that's the shift. That's the difference between one of the differences between marriage and just being in a long-term relationship is the shift in mindset and knowing that now it's real.
right.
Not to say that it wasn't real before, but there's a different level. It's like for all you guys who are into sports, I'll break it down like this. You can be in the Hall of Fame for just being a great player and accomplishing certain things. But until you have that ring, you don't get in the ring room. You're in the Hall of Fame though. But you don't get in that room with the people that with the ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's levels.
There's levels to this shit. So why do you think people stay in relationships without getting married? Because we were about to touch on that too.
I think
Like I was saying, like I think they feel like it's gonna mess things up. They don't want to fix something that ain't broke, right?
I get that. But
Which
I
is
think
understandable. Which is very understandable.
what I
It's,
think is one of the reasons is financial reasons.
mm,
They can't even afford to break up. I mean, they're barely making it with what they have together.
Mm. Or they can't afford a marriage, a wedding.
That's true. That's true. But
You know?
you don't necessarily need a wedding to be married though.
No, you
You
don't.
know what I mean?
You still
So
have to. You have
I'll
to.
take that off the table. I think fear of divorce, and for men especially, because more often than not, men come short in a marriage.
Uh-uh.
Yes, don't make me pull out the facts. Sure, there has been um, women who have had to pay spousal support and things of that nature, but those women are celebrities. I'm talking about
That's acceptable.
the average man.
Exactly.
The average man, get, the woman gets half.
And you know why? Why?
So that's the way the system is
Especially if they
designed.
got kids together.
But and see,
She wins.
look, that's another problem
Oh,
because it's mama's maybe, it's mama's baby, papa's maybe.
well, listen.
So the burden of proof that she isn't a good mother is on the father. The court system is designed for the mother to get that, and it's unfair.
In most states, I think there's some states that actually favor the father too.
Not many,
Maybe one or two.
not many.
I don't know.
But that's another reason. And I also think past trauma is another reason people don't want to get married or want to stay in a relationship without getting married.
Past trauma,
Yeah, I mean, like they could have had a bad relationship, or
a bad marriage.
yeah, that's valid too. I mean, but for them to um, be in uh, a bad relationship, but see, the way I feel about that is, if everybody takes accountability for their portion of the relationship or the marriage being bad, it's almost impossible to just blame one person. You know what I mean? There's a significant lack of accountability in a lot of people, especially in this generation and generations before our generation. If you really want me to be honest about it, nobody likes to be held accountable because it makes them have to look at themselves
Mm.
in an unfavorable light. You know, how somebody experiences you says a lot about one, your trauma, two, how you've been maneuvering out here in relationships, and three, what you've held on to and what you've let slide off in the growth process.
Hmm.
And the lack of accountability is one that ultimately is a mainstay. You have to be accountable for your actions and the way you think. You know, those are some reasons why I think people stay without getting married. And also another reason is because some women haven't required the man they're with to be marrying. I mean, to be dating for marriage, dating to get married. Like I said, you can have. It's easy to have somebody. It's easy to be with somebody you can have fun with. Can you be with somebody you can suffer with?
Mm.
Can you be with someone you can suffer with? Because it's not ever going to be always sunshine and rainbows. Can you be with somebody you can suffer with?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of
That's the
people,
hard part.
yeah, the suffering. And then you have um, the capstone model, where you have those people that want to wait until life is stable before marrying.
Well, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But that's definitely for people who plan out their lives very particular. I do agree that you should talk with the person that you're thinking about marrying. Y'all should have discussions about everything. And I think that you don't realize that until you're already halfway in.
You know what I say? What's
Because
that?
we, everything is all, oh my gosh, everything is just like so pretty in the beginning when you first meet, and you just like certain things that y'all do together is just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry him. Oh yeah, I'm gonna marry her. And everything is just so peachy in the beginning. So you get married. Y'all haven't discussed finances for real. Y'all haven't discussed how you raise your children for real. Y'all haven't discussed what's gonna happen. Uh, or how many accounts should we have? Finances is a big thing.
Absolutely.
Y'all haven't discussed um well what you got down your in your family, like that could pass down to our children or something, It's a lot of things that people just don't discuss before they get married until it's too late and you're already halfway in. It's just like, oh, oh, okay.
My thing about the capstone model is, if you wait until both of y'all are situated to get married, you also have to think about what it took you to get situated, the type of mindset you have had to have as a single person. Uh, uh, As a single person, you have had to be cutthroat, you've had to be curt, you've had to be um, disrespectful in certain aspects to get to where it is you have gotten to be where it is, especially if you're in the corporate world. In the corporate world, you have to be cutthroat. You have to be venomous in order to rise. You can't be timid. You can't be. Uh, you have to be aggressive. You can't be
Hmm.
sitting back half-assing it.
But I mean,
So it's going to be harder for you to build with someone when you already have it yourself. Because what the fuck are they going to add if you have already made it happen yourself? You want to
mhm.
be stable, I get it. But why can't y'all build that stability together? Because it makes it worthwhile when y'all are building it together. I'm not saying both of y'all start from nothing, but y'all have to at least have a plan that is working together. For y'all to try to start it one by one, or solo, and then come together, it's going to be a little harder for us, because especially on the woman's perspective, if she's led herself the entire time for her to get to where it is she is at now, where she's stable, it's going to be harder for her to even want to listen to a man and adjust her life, because he wasn't there in the process of her building what it is she has. So she's not going to want to be led. She's not even going to see him as a leader, because I have already done this without you.
With the camera.
I'm sorry. She's going to be like, I have already done this without you.
Okay, that's some. But a lot of times it's just meet me here. I can do this on my own, but I still want to share my life with somebody. So I found you. and you got your shit together. Show me something so that we can keep this thing going. It don't really have nothing to do with um I mean I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but that's not always the case either.
But you have to think about it like this: men control who they marry, not women. Women don't ask men to marry them. It's the other way around. There's not many men that are going to meet a woman who has completely uh, grinded her way into success that honestly doesn't know how to sit in her uh, to not be in the lead position. You know what I mean? Especially if she has led herself to a level of success to where she has had to be more aggressive, to had to be more cutthroat, not listening to certain things.
Okay, so basically you're saying that men usually look for women to marry that don't have shit?
No, I'm not saying that men look for women that don't have shit. What I'm saying is men look for women who in them whatever they in knowing whatever it is they have, they know his value as well. Not to take away from anything what they have had to do to get where they have had to go. A man who meets a woman who is in this boss woman stage,
Mm-hmm.
a man knows what it takes to be in that stage, to be in that level. It takes the type of aggression a man would have to a man would have to
You got to
exude.
be aggressive to be to
Well,
get to the
assertiveness.
biggest
I'll say it like that.
education.
I say it like this: assertiveness, especially in corporate society or wherever it is. You have to be assertive in order to be um, successful in any field, in any time, anywhere on earth. You have to be assertive. You have to want to go get it. And sometimes that assertiveness can become aggressive if that assertiveness is challenged in any way.
Okay.
And there are um, people who one don't know how not to be, who don't know how to turn it off. I'll say it like that. There's certain people that don't know how to turn off the assertiveness
Mm-hmm.
to lead to allow him to lead properly. There's certain women that don't know how to turn that off
Mm-hmm.
because they think they're the boss at work.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be the boss at home, and that's not going to be sustainable at home.
Well, most of the time, well, I'm not gonna say most of the time. Sometimes they can't turn it off.
And I agree with that. Sometimes they cannot turn that shit off because he's a sucker. Or I ain't gonna say he's a sucker, but he lacks the necessary leadership capabilities
Mm-hmm.
to be able to lead.
Right.
But then there are some women who don't know how to be led either.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, I think that, the capstone model, I think it has to start with communication. If both of y'all have been successful before meeting each other,
I think it's important to wait until life is stable before marrying
but what
because
if let's say you don't get stable till you 56 years old.
then you don't. That's just
But at 56, everybody is set in their ways. And it's going to be even harder for somebody to want to transfer certain levels of certain areas of control to the other because of that.
I'm not saying it as in don't get married unless you're stable. I'm just saying have the discussions, have the open communication so that you are both on the same level
That's what I was saying in the first place. I just said,
and know. what's going to happen in this marriage. But you can both have some kind of stability on your own already. Um,
I agree. I'm not saying just be out here meandering around and floundering in the
because
wind.
say there's a couple who've been together and then uh they're in college,
Hmm.
right? Neither one of them have the jobs that they're going to school to study for. They're not studying. Um they don't have those background jobs. Like say one is studying to be a doctor, one is studying to be a lawyer, right?
Cliff and
A Cliff
Claire.
and a Claire. So they're together. They're talking about their future together, but they decide that after graduating college, they're gonna get married.
Hmm.
But they already have a plan. As long as you have a plan, if you have a plan and you can communicate about this plan and actually have shown each other that you stick to plans, certain things that you're able to do that,
I completely agree with it. I
then
mean, you
yeah,
have the plan.
go
Yeah,
ahead and get married. Enjoy yourself.
yeah. I mean, but nowadays you got to think about it. There's a lot
But
of
it's
people who
like
don't have no plans.
exactly.
You know what I mean? They don't have plans. They don't communicate those
They don't
type of
have no
things.
goals. They don't
Right.
have no they
It's
suck
more
at
along the line.
communicating.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of, well, what can you do for me?
They got bad habits.
It's a lot of people are selfish instead of being selfless
Mm.
nowadays. Another reason why I think people stay in those type of relationships rather than getting married is some people think of forever while the other one thinks for now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, what- and see, that goes again with communication. But one of them are thinking, oh, I could be with this person forever. And they like, well, shit, I'm gonna just be with him until something better come along. I could be with her till something better comes along, And the other ones is putting in all the necessary work to try to be everything the other person needs, and the other person isn't on that level, or they're just pretending to play the game. That's the difference. That's another difference between marriage and being long-term relationship. Once you signed up for marriage, you were in there. The pretending is over. And if you're pretending to be married, then you shouldn't have gotten married in the first place.
Right.
You know, uh, I think there's a lot that goes into either forever or for now. Um, what do you think about the forever or for now?
I think that again, it just all boils down to where you're at in life and what your plan is. What is your goal? Because if you're young, I feel like you shouldn't just depending on your age, don't bother tying yourself down into a marriage because you have so much life to live, you have experiences to go through. Um,
Why can't you experience those things with the person you decide to marry?
because
Because what?
I feel like certain things you should just experience as a youth first.
Such as,
Just go out and explore the world. Like go to
well,
parties,
why can't you do
be
it
a
with your
child.
why can't you do it with your person?
You can if you feel like being with a person and doing those things. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I feel like, especially just based on your age, go and sow your wild oats.
And that's how you become random.
A what?
That's how you become ran through.
That is not true.
That's exactly how you
I'm not
become ran. You
saying
literally said
that
sowing
that don't
wild
that
oats.
doesn't
That
necessarily
goes
mean
for men
sexual.
and women. Yeah, I mean, like you go sow your wild oats out there and you
Yes,
be wild.
explore life. Explore
Then
life.
why not? Why can't you
Why would
explore
you
life?
rush and tie yourself down to one person for the rest of your life
Is that how you
at
feel?
such a young age?
Remember
I
back,
said based on your age.
but remember, in traditional marriages back in the days where everybody said they wanted, there's some people that have been married at 13, 14,
And they was
17,
also
and their marriages lasted 60, 70
and they was
years.
also doing what their parents told them to do.
But their
Or they
marriages
was forced
lasted
to marry some
their marriages
to marry
lasted
them.
60 or 70 years. They
Okay.
went through all of the things that are necessary for growth in a marriage
But
early.
that was a whole different time too.
Yes, but this is but see, everybody says they want that old school thing now, but with the mindset of some of this new generation, it will never be. You literally just gave reasons why that will never be.
Did you get married as at 14, 15?
If
Did
I would
you
have met someone
you did.
that no, look, if I would have met someone that I thought about being married to, I wouldn't have had no problems doing that. I was a romantic young. I wanted that. In seventh grade, there were girls I used to think about being with forever. Yes, I thought about those type of things in the seventh grade. Um,
What?
I did. But and I think it's also has to do with those type of that type of mentality of sowing wild oats and running around because you're young. Who wants old poom poom or old pee pee? That shit is used up. You know what I mean? Like who wants that shit? I mean,
Did
like
I say go out and be promiscuous?
sowing your wild oats,
No.
like, and I'll say it like this: when a woman say they living their best life, more often than not, is they are living their best life. Same shit with us. There's no difference. We out here fucking just like y'all fucking, and that's what it is. Who wants old, crunchy,
Oh my God.
used up poem and pee pee? But that's what we look. We're at the space now where in society where everybody's ran through. You just hope that the person you're with hasn't ran through nobody you know. You can sound like that.
You know what? We're not even gonna go there. Um, what's the timeline problem?
Well, I think the timeline problem is that people feel like, again, like you just said, some people feel like they've got to sow their wild oats at a
They're not
certain.
ready. Just that's all they're saying. They're not ready to get married. So go ahead and enjoy yourself.
I
Enjoy
mean,
your youth.
I don't agree with enjoy your youth. I'll say
Enjoy your
this.
adulthood.
I'm not saying not to enjoy your youth, but I'm saying if you're gonna enjoy your youth with somebody you can enjoy your youth with. And you know how you know who I look to for that?
Too.
Raven and Darren. They
Go get
they have been together since 15 years old.
that's our daughter.
They have been together since 15 years old,
Yeah.
and they are enjoying their life
And you know why?
because they're both fucking
They're
weirdos.
exactly the same
They're
person.
both fucking weirdos. But that find your weirdo and sit your ass down. You know what I mean? Like Raven has never been one of those running around outside ass women or girls. something like that, and I appreciate that. So it's possible she hasn't run around here and slid off all extra. There's been times where other dudes have been attracted, and she's been attracted to other guys. But at the end of the day, she's who the hell she needs to be with, because these niggas are the Black Adams family, and they belong together. You know what I'm saying? So, and it just is what it is, you know. And I'm not mad at it. But that goes to show, and she's two generations behind us. She's our children. So she's a generation behind us, and it still has that old school love. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear about, oh, you need to be outside and show your wild oats. No, it's not true, and it's not fair, because she did not.
All right, and we had that discussion. But she said that's her best friend. So those
Absolutely,
are,
and your partner should be your best friend.
you my best friend.
Absolutely, because
Am I
shit.
your best friend?
Absolutely, and then you get to see all of me. To everybody else, they get to see
I need to
little
drink.
bits and
I need to drink
pieces.
on that one.
Everybody else get to see little bits and pieces of who I am.
My God,
You get the whole shebang, man. Saying somebody's
everything.
watching, just in case to see if they saying anything. Somebody's
Mhm.
watching, see if they saying
Stop.
anything. It's like, I don't know, like
What you mean?
when you can see the
We
comments.
can't.
Okay,
Oh shit.
somebody see you already, yo.
No, I'm good.
But so does marriage actually make relationships more stable?
No.
Explain.
It's the people. It's the people that are in the marriage. That piece of paper is really just for legal purposes.
Legally, she can take half your shit.
Hmm?
Legally, she can take half your shit.
That's material things.
Not
That's material things.
and your finances.
If y'all ain't really got shit,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
and
good.
that shit
Then,
don't
yeah.
mean
If
nothing.
you ain't got shit, you taking air. Taking dingleberries.
What?
If you ain't got shit, all you got is the dingleberries.
Dingleberries.
You,
Crazy stuff.
you can have half of those.
Mm,
Soundbite.
mm. Is marriage for security? Is marriage for security, or is it an illusion?
Mm. It depends on who you with. If you really want to be honest about it, because we as men, we're supposed to provide the security of the marriage.
Hmm.
We're supposed to secure our family, but our wives are supposed to secure us. It's like
Hmm.
chess. The queen is the most powerful piece on the board. She can do everything, but the game is over when the king dies.
Mm.
That is a fact of chess, and it's chess, and it's not checkers out here. So with that, the security.
You know, I talked to my sisters. Me and my sisters, we talk about relationships and men and our partners and stuff like that. And it's two of us, I think. Only two of us that are actually married. Um, And even she and I will sidebar it sometimes and just have our little chit chats. Where are you
I need
going?
water.
Oh,
You need the water. I need water.
oh. But that little piece of paper don't mean nothing really. It's just for legal purposes. It's the people that have to put in all the work that those two individuals in that marriage that have to put in all of that work. They have to make it an actual marriage and a union. Okay. Y'all are like this.
Can't be
It is
half-assed.
not an easy task.
Don't fuck up the feng shui.
It is not an easy task. So if you are the type of person who is,
Put your headphones in.
I have my headphones. I have one. I don't need both.
Don't fuck up the feng
If
shui.
you are the type of person who has the patience, mm, mm, mm,
Oh, it definitely takes patience.
has the tolerance, mm,
You got to be a different type of person to be
you
married.
do. You really do. You really, really do.
It's not a game. Marriage is not a game. You can't treat it like you would a regular boyfriend girlfriend type thing.
And
You
you
cannot.
cannot.
It'll fail and fall, and it'll crumble to nothing.
Mhm.
I promise you, it is way different than you think it is.
So, with that being said, to answer the question, is marriage
Does
security
marriage
or
to make it more
illusion?
stable? What what
No,
what what does stability in marriage look like? Okay, I'll say it like this. What does stability in marriage? What do what does the wife provide in order to keep the marriage stable? And I will say what the man provides.
Mm.
Unless you want to do but
No,
vice
you
versa.
can't really generalize that because every marriage,
But okay,
every
well then just stick to
relationship
the basics.
is different
Stick to the basics then.
because the things that you and I need are not the same as the next couple and what they need.
Okay, well, what do you believe a wife should provide?
Communication,
What part of stability should a wife provide?
communication.
And what else?
You have to be able to communicate. That's the majority. That is the number one tool for any relationship, any marriage. You have to be able to talk to your partner.
But that's given. That
But
stuff, the
that's the
communication
ticket.
provides everything,
That's the
not
key.
necessarily just stability. I'm talking about what what does the wife provide? What part of the glue does the wife provide the marriage in order for it to stay stable? The
It
stability can't
just
just be completely on
it's
the husband.
not just one thing. It's she has to be able to communicate. She has to be able to be flexible, not just behind closed doors. But no, she has to be able to be emotionally available.
That's
She
a big
has
one.
to be able to make a house a home,
That's also a big one.
especially if her partner is, oh, works a lot or if she's home more than he is. Or, I mean, just make your house a home
I'll say this, and
because he's not. He's not. Unless he's like an interior designer.
I'll say this. The other day, when I came home and you just disrobed me, that was the dopest shit I've ever experienced ever. Because you don't understand, a lot of women don't understand how much gas that puts in the tank. I woke up the next day. That was the same day I told you I slept completely through the night. And I hadn't done that in a long time. I woke up the next day and was able. I could have pushed the whole building 4 feet
Mm.
because that's how it felt to 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 feel appreciated.
But you know what? Where that comes from?
Consistency.
Not feeling exhausted, not feeling like the world is caving in on her. Um, Feeling like she can really give and share. So you're welcome.
It's appreciated. I promise it is. I gotta fucking push the bus though.
So, uh, let's see. It is about to be wrapped up time. I see.
Well, let's finish this last.
Is marriage a goal or a choice?
No, why do you think some long-term relationships,
Mm,
okay, marriage, okay, yeah, marriage is a
yeah,
goal or a choice.
that's it.
Is marriage a goal or a choice? Hmm. What do you think?
It's it's both. It should be a goal, um, but it's a choice. It's something that you both have to be open to and discuss and have understanding.
I'm just gonna say it's a choice because it can't be a goal if neither one of y'all choose to be married.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I believe that if you both want to be married, then you set the necessary goals
Go ahead, keep talking.
to achieve marriage. Um, and that comes with the communication, and it comes with the type of learning of each other and the maintaining and the maintenance of what it takes to get there to be married, if that's what you want to do.
Oh, okay.
But you have to choose to go down that path. You have to choose to go that way. Uh, Now, once you choose it, then you know what the goal is. Once you have both made the choice, all right, let's get married. I want to marry you. You want to marry me. How are we going to make this happen? And once you decide that y'all both want to be married to each other, then it becomes the goal. Now you make the necessary changes to self, to your commitment, to how you move, to your mindset, and all of those things in order to become married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before we close this out, what are 5 things that changes from being in a regular relationship to marriage for you? What do you think? And I'll do 5 too.
Oh Lord. 5 things that change from from being in a regular relationship,
Long-term relationship
a long-term relationship
to marriage.
to marriage.
Yes.
You don't have um the same necessarily the same freedom. You uh you have to share. Just you gotta share. You have to think about your husband. You have to think about your spouse. Um and who you're representing. Let's see what else. Finances change. Um, you just have to be more um open. You have to communicate more. You have to communicate better. Um, hours of operation change. Hours of operation change. You're not going to in a long term relationship, I can probably go out and hang out with the girls or go on a girls trip. Mm, that changes. That changes in the marriage because I don't know. Again, it all has to do with different types of marriages. Some people are in marriages in which the husband is okay with the wife going on girls trips, and the wife is okay with husband going on his guys trips. It just depends. It all boils down to communication.
How many is that?
So what?
How many is that?
I've heard of them.
No, I said how many of
Oh, I don't know. I was talking at the top of my head.
well, I'll say the 5 things that changes in a marriage. Your friends change.
That's one. Hmm.
You can't hang out with people who I'm not gonna say you can't hang out with people who aren't married. What I'm going to say is you can't hang out with people who are not married and are living a life of debauchery. Uh, they just they're still alley cats, and you have become a house cat in marriage. When you're in a long-term relationship, you can probably still hang out with the alley cats because you're not that far removed from the alley. You pick and choose your friends wisely when you're in a marriage. You want to be around people who are married more often than you're not, or people who respect your marriage enough that once you decide it's time for you to go home and you're in the parameters of respecting the house that you and your partner have built, they don't have a problem with that. And they will push you towards that. You don't want to be around people who say things like, man, you don't need to bring sand to the beach if you want to bring your wife along. Those
Right.
aren't the people you want to be around. That's the first thing. Is your friends to change. Your associations to change. The second thing that changes in a marriage from a long term relationship is you're not leaving the house without knowing who you represent. Because if you're married, everybody knows you're married. Everybody that matters to you knows you're married. So you're not going to walk around here sliding your wife or sliding your husband by doing some shit that you know for a fact is going to make everybody else disrespect them. Because they're not going to respect your partner if you're openly disrespecting and disrespecting your marriage. They're not going to. That's the second thing. When you walk outside these doors, you're representing not only you, but you're representing your partner and everybody involved. I learned that a long time ago, and I still make mistakes. And sometimes I have to tell myself in the mirror, tighten up. Because the last person you really want to hurt is the one you gotta lay next to every night.
Right.
Because while you sleep, she could bust your head smooth to the cool whip.
Mm.
You could be sleeping and never wake up again.
Could be.
The third thing is probably the most important thing. Never get high on your own supply. No, I'm sorry. That's something else. I was playing.
Come on. Yeah.
uh, I think the third thing will probably be the change in mindset. Like you have to know that this is your person. You have to get rid of the insecurities. You have to be able to quell their insecurities because of trauma they've been through or trauma you've been through with previous relationships. You have to be able to know once you sit down and decide this is my wife or this is my husband and nothing else matters. What I need from him is to make sure that I am fulfilled. And in order for that to happen, I have to fulfill him and vice versa. That's where the work comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the work. That's the job of a marriage. When you're in a long term relationship, at any time you can be like, I'm doing something for myself, and I don't care if they like it or not. They can get the fuck on. You can't do that in a marriage. I mean, you can, but if you really want to stay married, it'll ruin it. Wrap this up, B.
Number 4.
Number four is probably one of the most important ones: accountability. Accountability. It sounded like I was real drunk, but accountability is really a mainstay. You have to be able to be accountable. You have to be able to hold yourself accountable. You have to be able to have your partner hold you accountable in order for things that you don't see of yourself. You have to be able to do that. You have to. And you have to be able to hold yourself accountable without pointing fingers back.
Mhm.
That is paramount. You know what I mean? And number five, and final, is fuck everybody but y'all. Like at the end of the day, it's fuck your friends, it's fuck your kids, it's fuck your mama and them. Y'all that have decided to make this thing shake together. And y'all have to make it shake together. It's fuck everybody but y'all. Because if your kids, you can't do nothing for your kids if y'all ain't doing it for each other. Fuck everybody but y'all. But this is the Venom and Vision podcast for this evening.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Don't forget to don't forget to like and subscribe to the show.
I ain't gonna lie,
To
y'all.
the
She was
show.
rushing the hell out of me.
Let us hear from you. If you have any stories, comments, or questions, just let us hear from you. You can always email us at Venom and Vision, the podcast at gmail.com. And we'll respond. Trust me, we will respond. If I don't, he will. Okay.
Immediately without question.
Thank you for tuning in. Again, we will be back next week,
Now,
Friday.
hold
Oh,
up.
I'm not done.
Also,
I ain't done.
if you hit us up on the email, wanna know our advice, and you don't want us to say your name, please in the comments or in the description put anonymous, and we'll keep it anonymous. And when we see you in the street, we'll act like you didn't send that shit.
Tune in next Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
My mom ain't raised no shit. So
Podcast, and we thank you for tuning in.
I love y'all.
Good night.